Jill, from your corporate experience, what are your tips of how women can not only use their own voices and make themselves heard, but persuade other women to speak up more as well? And is it really about us speaking up, or is it about persuading other people to listen? How do we break through all of that?
I mean, I think there are so many things in this, and I absolutely want you to talk about this because I love what you say and how to in the room about this. I think probably my biggest tip would be recognize, don't be in denial about it. Don't be in denial of the importance of the voice. If you are, no matter how competent you are, no matter how brilliantly you are doing your job, if you're doing it quietly with your head down and you are not speaking up, you're not making your work visible, you're not networking, and importantly, you are not performing and you're not being confident and visible in the place where, and I'm talking the corporate world here, where you are most judged, which is the meeting. I mean, I've got a chapter in my book called Giving Good Meeting because it's fascinating. We are so judged in the meeting, and I think a lot of women are a bit naive about that, and they think that their work is going to speak for itself, and everyone's going to notice what a fantastic job they're doing. And actually, I think what a lot of men realize very, very early on is they need to absolutely put in a brilliant performance in those meetings, because we're judged, unfortunately, so much more by what we say and how confidently we say it than actually on the competence behind it. So I think what I'd say to women is just recognize that that is a reality, because you're going to get extremely frustrated if you don't, but also just do it your way.
I feel a lot of people listening to that and think, yes, but how
Mm-hmm.
Where do I find the confidence to do this? What happens if I say this and I mess it up? And for me, one of the things I've learned from all the conversations that I've had on the podcast, How to Own the Room, and all of the face-to-face stuff that I've done with people talking about these things, is that one of the most useful things is to remember that you're not a stereotype. So a lot of the pressure that you might get from thinking, if I don't speak up now, then it makes women look a certain way, then you're kind of painting yourself as being representative of all women, and thinking, if I don't speak up now like Michelle Obama and be amazing, then it's going to make women look rubbish. I used to have this in comedy. I used to always think, if I have a bad gig, then people are going to think women aren't funny. And maybe they are, but the truth is they're just going to think I'm not funny. And that's fine, because I'll do it again tomorrow and it'll be funny. So what I find really useful is just to think the only person that you can be is you. And don't be putting all this stuff on your shoulders of you represent all women, and if you don't do this, the whole of womankind will be lost. That's way too much pressure to put on one person. And so sort of, it's almost self-contradictory what I'm going to say here. So on the one hand, depersonalize it. So don't be thinking, I have to fix all of this. You have to depersonalize that, because the idea that you have to fix 4,000 years of patriarchy in one interaction in a meeting is an insane pressure to put on yourself.
Absolutely.
So you depersonalize it and think, this isn't happening to me. This is happening because it happens. This is the culture. Something I think Lauren brought up in the comments, that, we live in a culture that is becoming more and more conservative. There's a lot of very strange political forces at work that are undermining lots of the gains of the last 50, 60 years. As an individual, it's very difficult to take all of that on your shoulders and do something to reverse it. So don't be thinking of yourself as being some sort of stereotype who's a representative of all this. Just try to dig into you